Yes, sir. The boys are back talking a little NFL preseason action. This is week 1 of the NFL preseason, and we got you covered at Rump Here Sports. We're going to be having live shows, free shows on this YouTube channel. So make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. Also, hit the like button on this video if you're joining us this early. And we got the full crew bringing you the preseason content over at Rump Here Sports. If you are a member, Rubio Dimes, myself, JSU, and our guy, Bruce. Everyone loves Bruce in chat. I'm expecting a ton of Bruce messages coming in the chat in 3, 2, 1. You guys better not fuck this up. Rubio, how you doing here? You just finished the projections at Rumpier Sports. They should be up and ready to go. How you feeling on this week 1 preseason?
Yeah, it was fun. Bruce was feeding me a bunch of information while I was doing them. That helped out a lot. We got a positional availability chart that he always makes and posts into the chat too. So we know the numbers at each position for each team. I underestimated how long it takes to do preseason projections. I took the baton from Bruce. Bruce did them the last 3 years or so. And I got 45 minutes in and I only had half the teams done. And I was like, oh man, we gotta really press forward here because there's so much research. I don't want to project a 0. Full disclosure, I did project a 0 because I missed the Raheem Sanders news last week with the Chargers, which I was kicking myself on that there, JSU. I was kicking myself a little bit because it kind of changed the landscape of the slate just a tad. I wouldn't have had as much Jalen Sailors if I knew that. But at the end of the day, we move forward and we have a big slate tonight, 50K up top. And I always bring it up every time we do a show with Bruce and stuff, especially preseason. But the Seattle Seahawks, that's his squad right there. That is the Jake Bobo, the manifestation. You know what he sends me today, JSU in a DM? He sends me an Elijah Arroyo rookie card. What kind of pull is that? The 3rd or 4th string tight end here out of the Miami University. What was that?
That's
Bruce?
not the 3rd or 4th string tight. That's going to be tight end 1 for Seattle.
He's not going to beat out Barner. No shot.
That's going to be tight end 1, Bruce. Bruce, tell him. Talk about Arroyo here. To let him know.
Guy just needs to work on his blocking, and he's gonna be good. They
were talking him up already. Like Bruce. They were talking him up like they could line him up anywhere, like as a receiver almost. Like he could play the X. Like I was like, oh crap! Like so, this dude he could play like the receiver positions on top of the tight end. The blocking is definitely going to be the biggest crux for him. But if he figures that out, he could have it all figured out real quick and be a really good tight end in the NFL. But Bruce, how you feeling here? You ready to go for the preseason action? You got to have a few gems for the people, but don't tell us yet. You got to hold on to them a little bit longer.
Yeah, doing great. Last week we got killed by, man, I just went to bed early once I saw Craig Reynolds still in the game at the end of the first quarter. Just killed everything, man. I just hate to see that. I knew the Lions weren't for real when they did that. So, but yeah, a lot of good games tonight and Friday too. Friday, Saturday, man, it's a great week of football. Good to get things going with these 3.
Yeah, so we're going to have multiple slates here for preseason week 1. Obviously, today with the 3-gamer, we've got, I think, 3 more games tomorrow night. So we'll probably have another show tomorrow night. Still working on the time, 4, 5, 6, somewhere around there, because we will also have an MLB show for you guys tomorrow with the big MLB slate. And then we'll have Saturday content. We'll have preseason content for every slate, right, Rubio? So if you are a member at Rumpier Sports, you have like the full all sports package. You will be covered for all the preseason stuff. And I also saw someone ask the question about any NFL sign-up specials for NFL. Well, we got the NFL packages out. They are out. They're up on the site right now. If you guys are looking for NFL single sport packages, those are up with Sabre. Also, we'll have multiple packages with Sabre. If you want the core 150, you want the 500 lineups, that's the premium. And then we have the ultimate as well. If you guys like multiple choices, and I will show you guys all the options as we get a little more into the show. I will go more in depth on the pricing, which our prices are as low as ever. And I will go through that real quick, but no better time than now to get in, because pretty much if you sign up for NFL single sport, and you get the annual, you pretty much get all of preseason pretty much free. So it's the best time right now. Get in, join the Discord as well, because we got all the news hitting as we get close to lock, which is very crucial when it comes to preseason. But Rubio, we're ready to go. We're going to have multiple, specials for NFL. We got all the packages up, and this is the time. Sign up now.
100% here. And yeah, it's just preseason's just the tip of the iceberg, man. It's nice having 50K up top. We'll be back tomorrow as well with everything too. And, the best part too with the preseason insights tab, I'm checking it all out right now too. You get just a bunch of news I'm just kind of reading up on. So if I'm not paying attention, it's because I'm reading the preseason nuggets that Bruce put together here.
You know what, Rubio? Let's go into the preseason insights, because that was something that Bruce added for a little content for the preseason specifically. So talk about what people get. I'm going to pull it up actually real quick on the site, but talk about what it entails and what people get when they go to this page.
Yeah, and Bruce, I mean, do you want to explain it even better than me? Like, I know that you put all the time in here. We do have a slight glitch here. Hold on, I want to make sure that this looks nice before we pull it up. It's looking like it's doing some name errors here, JSU. But yeah, Bruce, if you want to take it, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just it's kind of comes through Twitter. I put together a couple lists. It just kind of looks for the names and pulls it into a list for me, and I kind of sort through them and put the relevant information in there. And Rubio gives me some nuggets too that I add in there every now and then as well. So, but yeah, it's just hopefully helpful. Kind of puts them in the column, in the name column. So it's all there in one spot. Rubio has the projections in there too. So. Hopefully it makes it easier for you.
Yeah, and it gives you so if you have no idea about the preseason slate and you want to kind of catch up, you were working all day, right, Bruce? And then you're like, I want to play this preseason slate, but obviously news is the most crucial thing about preseason. I got to figure out what's going on. You could go in first thing, Joe Burrow will start, likely get a quarter from the coach, right? So you get that insight. You're like, okay, Joe Burrow, the plan is to play a quarter, and you can go through with multiple guys and figure out, are these guys even playing? What did the coach say about, Saquon Barkley not getting any run? And you go through all the players and you can figure out what the coach was saying specifically about the first team offense, said players, because sometimes, the offense is going to play, but a few select players won't play. And then sometimes it's the whole first team's not playing. So it just goes through every player, right, Rubio, and just breaks it down, and it will tell you exactly what's going on. And also any other little tidbits in practice. Maybe they had something nice happen in practice or whatever, and you'll get that news as well.
100% there, JSU. I'm kind of looking forward to this right now, just seeing all the stuff that we have in here. I know Bruce is cleaning it up right now too, just because there's a little bit of a name error. But yeah, I mean, you get all this stuff included. I mean, that's the one thing that we're kind of proud of, is that we got so much stuff on tap for preseason, and hopefully it leads into a strong regular season as well. And like you said, JSU, I mean, you didn't even go into the pricing and stuff, but I saw this comment. I was like, what the hell is this, Josh D? Your stuff is crazy overpriced. Didn't we just drop prices here, JSU? Right? Isn't that the case here for NFL?
Yeah, so I'm going to pull it up right now because Josh D is throwing out some fake news, Josh D. So I'm going to square this out right now. So you guys can see on our premium page, obviously, for the monthly here, you got the Run Pure Premium. We do have the single sports as well, Run Pure NFL Core. But if you go all the way down here, you're going to see a nice, I messed up the page. You're going to see a nice pricing breakdown. All right, so these are the pricing breakdowns for all of our packages. You guys can see the weekly, the monthly. It goes through with the RPS plus SaberSim 150. So you get 150. That's Run Pure projections, no Saber projections. Then you got the RPS plus SaberSim 500 lineups that will give you SaberSim projections plus obviously Run Pure projections. And then you've got the Ultimate with the RPS plus SaberSim 5,000 lineups. Probably the best deal is the premium because you get all the sports, right? You want all the sports, or most people probably want all the sports. But if you are just someone that wants NFL, then we do have the single sport pricing as well. And you can see that over here, and you can kind of see what you get, right? You can kind of pull that in there, and it kind of shows you with the pricing breakdown. You can go to other sites and see what their prices are. I'm telling you right now, our prices are as low as anyone else in the industry. So go look it up. You can go fact check me if you want, Josh D. All the major sites, our prices are in line or lower than all the other sites. So you can hit the like and subscribe for being wrong, Josh D. And we appreciate you watching this video here. If you want to sign up, check us out. Here's all the packages. We got them all up. If you have any questions, you can DM us on Twitter. You can DM me, info@RunPureSports. If you want to email us, info@RunPureSports.com. Email us. Hit us up in Discord. Ask us any questions. We'll try and help you out as best we can. And yeah, we're ready to go. So packages are up. They're live. You can see here, our guy Wiley got them up nice and clean. Appreciate him. A lot of hard work went into this. And yeah, all the sports, check it out. But that's the breakdown here, and highly recommend it. Like I said, single sport or all sports, like, all sports premium is the best buy. You get the 500 lineups with SaberSim, and you get all the sports at Run Pure Sports. Like I said, it's not just NFL. We have MMA, we have NASCAR. We've got college football's coming. Bruce is our main college football guy. He does all the projections for college football, and that's what he spends most of his time on. But Bruce always has that dialed in, and he has it dialed in for like every slate too. So like not even just the main Saturday slates, he has you covered for all these slates. So, I mean, Bruce, you could talk about it if you want real quick, because college football is coming up, and you're going to have all the projections dialed each and every day.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, I've got all my best ball stuff up for college football as well. In the Discord, we've been drafting hard the last couple weeks. Just completely dialed in for the season. I feel refreshed after a couple months off, and it's good to get back into it. Just a little bit with NFL preseason too. So. Just fired up for that. There's big edge in drafting in best ball, just like there is in NFL best ball. College, there's a ton. We had a winner in the chat last year, so I got close as well. So there's a lot of edge with this stuff for sure, especially if you get in early.
Stuff is crazy, JSU. Like, you think that NFL best ball is hard? What Bruce does for college football, there's like 3 different bye weeks, and those bye weeks occur in the playoffs. It broke my brain. It really did.
I couldn't even imagine. I would need to have Bruce just like I would need to have him like sitting in my DMs with me, just like, so I could just shoot him question after question. Again, one of those though about the Discord is you can add us in the Discord with your questions. So if you were doing something like a college football best ball draft and you had no idea what you were doing after like a few picks, you could just add Bruce in the chat and be like, hey, Bruce, what are a few good spots to target, or who do you like in this round? And we will get back to you. We will get back to you, and answer your questions for whatever you got. So that's another reason why you should subscribe and you should get in the Discord. Discord is the best thing we offer. We have the best community in the industry. It's not even close. Our Discord is awesome, and you got to get in it to see it. A lot of sharp people in there, not just us, but a lot of sharp members in there too, just talking ball, talking all sports all throughout the day. So it's a great time. Check us out, Run Pure Sports. Obviously, we still got the JBC 100K win offer. It gets you a free week with any monthly package on the site. If you want to use that code JBC 100K win, get you a free week with any monthly package that we have on the board. And check out our new NFL packages that we got up as well. With that, Rubio, I think that's enough pushing here. We got to get into this slate. Let's dive in now. Any thoughts? Just general thoughts.
Yeah, real quick. Can I just address this? Sycamore Bomb, that is the funniest thing I read today after what happened to your account there. I'm sorry, but Yeah,
Oh,
don't
I
click
missed
on
this
any.
then. I don't know what happened to his account.
You might have
Tell me after, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't click on any bad links. Don't be caught fishing. All right. But yeah, we got
All right.
3 great games tonight. JSU. We got like a very, very tight Baltimore team, right? I think this is like the one thing that if you look over the years, they really kind of thin out their rotation, especially at running back, where they're going to have an injury concern as well, which could lead to some nice pick six stuff. I know that's the main thing that we're looking at. But as far as like news, I mean, we're gonna try and get here out of here around like 6:15 or so. But like, I know last week I was on Instagram just searching Canton, Ohio. Basically just seeing people in the stadium just to see if who was suiting up. For if Baki was suiting up for the Lions or not. Couldn't find his number anywhere. Then it finally got reported out. I'm going to be doing the same thing tonight for Marcus Major and the Ravens. So it'll be a lot of fun. I know that these 3 games, especially, they all have wide spreads for preseason, JSC. I don't know if you noticed that, but like almost all of them are 6-point spreads. I think, funny enough, is it the road team is the favorite in all of them. I think they're all -6, which doesn't really mean anything, but it's like that's a little fun fact. But yeah, you're going to see a little bit of wide spreads. What that does is, kind of inflates the ownership on like a guy like Joe Burrow tonight, where it's like, I didn't really project him that great. But when you're a 6-point favorite and you're projected to score a whole touchdown more than the other team, like it only takes 1 touchdown to be one of the top scorers in the slate. So again, he's like the 6th ranked quarterback for me overall, just on like points. But it's like, yeah, it's going to be interesting tonight, JSC, to say the least, because there's only one nut spot, and that's the Ravens at running back. The rest is completely up for whatever you want to interpret.
Bruce, anything else to add? Any seeing thoughts that you have on this slate? Anything sticking out to you?
Yeah, it's mainly Baltimore. Like Rubio said, just it's really short. It seems like every year they have a good team in preseason, and it's a good team to target. And just how much I hate Pete Carroll, for not giving us straight answers for starters or anything. So, but yeah, once we get,
I love how they like think they're like gaming, like they're hiding something, like they need to. It's the preseason. Like nobody, just tell us. Come on, it's the preseason. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's killing me. I just need to know how many snaps Sincere McCormick's going to get. So.
Yeah, exactly. Just give us a range. That's all. That's all we want. Shout out to our guy SD Bolts. He showed us how to get rid of all the spam calls. So shout out to my guy SD Bolts. What's going on, brother? Glad to have you back in here. Wake with a long message. Rubio, did you see Wake's message in here? I don't know what he was referring to. He said, enter all my projections, ownerships.
Yeah, there won't be any sims on SaberSim for the preseason. All right, so like they don't have ownership or anything like that. Even if you input your own, their stuff still runs on what they input in the background. So that's also something to note too. If you ever change the ownership, unless you make a certain set of field lineups, so usually 5,000 field lineups, it's still going to react based on their ownership numbers. Unless you make your own specific contest sim with the field lineups there. So yeah, just stick to optimizer here. Best score is a good way to do it. I think the one thing that you don't really see a whole lot of in DFS anymore, and I don't do it personally anymore until preseason, but groups matter on these classic slates, in my opinion. And I know, Bruce, I know you make a lot of groups when you do like an optimizer and stuff. I know you do a whole lot of hand building too, but it's like, you don't want to be caught with, 4 Ravens wide receivers tonight, even though they're all, decent projected and stuff. It's like, you want to make sure that you're having a max of 2 or a max of, 2 running backs from the same team or whatever, which with the Ravens tonight, that's going to be more than viable. So, it's just like groups are probably one of those things where it's just kind of important to kind of work with, and, obviously building in the optimizer mode.
All right, good. Glad you hit that question. Let's dive into the slate here, boys. Let's start out with we're going to go game by game. If you didn't know this, we got the DraftKings pick 6 board up. We are going to do a pick 6 at the end using that 30% boost that they have up there for the preseason tonight. So we will do our favorite pick 6 at the end, but we will try and give some pick 6 winners as we go through each game after we break down, the game. We'll maybe give our favorite in the game and then move to the next game here. So let's talk through Ravens and Colts here. Bruce, let me start with you here. We got, Cooper Rush in the playbook. He's up there as a quarterback right now. Anthony Richardson is up there as well in the ranks. What are we looking at with these two quarterbacks? Start at the quarterback position and break those guys down.
Yeah, Indy's tough. Just it looks like Richardson's going to get maybe 1.5 quarters. So he has probably the most upside rushing. If he actually runs the football and doesn't get injured. And Daniel Jones is only going to get half a quarter, so I'm just totally going to take him out. If he beats me, he beats me. Riley Leonard was always a runner in college. Wasn't a good passer really, but supposedly has looked good this camp. So it's a little interesting. But how much playing time does he get? Maybe a quarter or so with Jason Bean behind him as well. That's rough. The Indy quarterback room is rough outside of Anthony Richardson because he's just going to get a quarter and a half. When we get later on into some of these other teams, we're going to get some guys that are going to get a half or even more. So it's just tough to buy into those guys. Cooper Rush, he could get 3 quarters here with no Lamar, and which is Devin Leary behind him. There was a report on one of these practices where Devin Leary hardly played in one of the scrimmages. So it could be interesting if Rush maybe gets 2.5, 3 quarters. It's definitely a possibility. And he was good in the preseason with Dallas in years past too. So he's probably the one I'd look at here, just because they only have 2, and Baltimore has some good receivers as well.
Yeah, I know Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones, they pretty much said they're going to flip-flop them in games 1 and 2. So AR gets the first shot with the 1.5-ish quarters. Daniel Jones gets the other half quarter or whatever it is. And then next game, Rubio, pretty sure what they said was Daniel Jones would get the 1.5 and AR would get the half. It does feel like to me they're really pushing for AR to win this job. That's just the way I feel with all the camp buzz. I feel like I hear very little about Daniel Jones just in general. And what I hear is not good about Daniel Jones, but I definitely hear more good about Anthony Richardson in general. I hear more stuff about Anthony Richardson. So I do think they want him to win this job. In the end, though, for preseason, it's like you see the upside, 1.25 for a guy like Anthony Richardson in the preseason. He has upside. You know what I mean? Me and one were battling in our best ball chat just earlier talking about Anthony Richardson for the full season. But the guy can run, and he's got a cannon for an arm.
Yeah, and that's kind of the one thing that you kind of want to look at is what rushing upside, right? There's a decent chance that Anthony Richardson is playing for not only his job, but also, your just career as a quarterback, right? That's the one thing that if you lose grip on it, will you ever get it back? And I think he's going to be more inclined to run the ball than usual, right? Like last year, I don't have it off the top of my head, but I went to a Bengals-Colts game, and it didn't really feel like, there was any urgency amongst that. Oh, man, I'm going to tuck and run and get 5-6 yards on the ground, or no, I'm just going to throw it away and stuff. And he's going to have that urgency tonight. He's got to. And, if he's getting 1.25, like Bruce said, I kind of split the difference on him, but I just actually updated those projections with Bruce's comments there. Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because Cooper Rush is going to be one of the best plays at the quarterback position on the other team, right? That's the number one thing that you can kind of look at is how much playing time, how much is a projection worth if a guy is going to get 2.5, 3 quarters, maybe even more. We don't know the ceiling. We don't know the floor on Cooper Rush yet. But the Colts are 6.5-point favorites. There's a decent chance that maybe they come out and put up 2 touchdowns early. You'd be thrilled to see the Ravens score 2 touchdowns tonight, really. It's just kind of like the reality of Cooper Rush was a part of 2 touchdowns, or, if he was just part of 2 drives that resulted in touchdowns, you'd be thrilled. And there's a decent chance that the Colts come out here, score 21 points. I mean, that's what they're implied right now, right? They're implied 22 points. Richardson could easily be a part of that. I still it's talking in a circle, but it's like Cooper Rush is number 1 today. And then, I think Drew Lock, you can make a case for tonight too, but it's like, Anthony Richardson deserves to be in that conversation for a tournament dart. And I don't know exactly what their plan is going to be at wide receiver, but you can stack him with a Josh Downs or a Michael Pittman Do they mirror the wide receiver snaps to be with, Anthony Richardson? I mean, that's something that, we don't know. But in my opinion, if you wanted to give both quarterbacks a fair shot, you do this week and next week. But who knows? I mean, AD Mitchell's been shining out too. He could probably get a lot of first team run tonight as well.
That's another guy that they've just been gushing over. And well, actually, the beginning of camp, it was all bad things about AD Mitchell. And then all of a sudden, like the last 5 days, I feel like it's just been, he's a superstar. He looks amazing. He's making all these plays in camp. And I mean, I believe he's talented. I know he's talented. I thought he would be good last year. He didn't really do much for us last year. Didn't get on the field as much as I think we all thought too. Alec Pierce kind of held on to that job and kind of did really well too, honestly, for Alec Pierce. So he's got to beat out, I think, Alec Pierce. He's not going to take Josh Downs' job inside. Michael Pittman's got his job. So he's got to beat out Alec Pierce. Maybe he does here. And I think they're kind of pushing it like he could. That's what it kind of sounds like. So maybe someone like him fits with a guy like AR who's got a cannon. I don't know. He looks like he could be a decent preseason option. What do you think of AD Mitchell and anyone else on the Colts side from the receiver standpoint?
There is a ton of buzz about AD Mitchell, and Bruce loves himself some AD Mitchell. Hook him, right? That's just the one thing that you kind of look at is just talent-wise. You were on him a lot last year in best ball, of course, too. And good reports over the last week. I think he started off pretty rough, and then over the last week, he's kind of put it together. I think these teams have been scrimmaging a little bit too, so that's kind of something to note. But he's fighting for that wide receiver 3 spot. I mean, him and Pierce. I don't know if it's locked that it's going to be Pierce, but Pierce had a pretty damn good year last year. It's going to be tough to kind of replace him. But I know that when you look at these wide receivers here for both teams, with the Ravens, we do want to keep an eye on Tez Walker, right? Just because he was a little bit banged up. Bruce noted this. He didn't practice on Sunday or something, but he did return for the scrimmage. We'll see if he's in uniform tonight, but he could be the top scoring receiver in this game. And, a big reason there, JSU, a guy who kind of had a lot of hope, a guy who has a lot of talent. And there's just no doubting that Tez Walker is one of the, most talented wide receivers last year in the draft. It's just will he get the opportunity to showcase it? Is his head on straight? Obviously what North Carolina is where he went off on a few games there for DFS purposes. I remember that, Bruce, where Tez Walker, he would put up some monster games. And right now he's the top projected receiver in this game. And you look at the rest of the Ravens, they got 9 receivers total. And that's really kind of including Tylan Wallace, could be up in the air. Malik Cunningham, I don't know if anyone recognizes him, but you got former Louisville quarterback there. I mean, it's not like they're just a gluttonous, range of wide receivers for the Ravens here. I like Jamal Banks too. That's just a name that kind of throwback. Some good memories happen. It's like those member berries in South Park. You just go, oh, you remember Jamal Banks? I kind of remember Jamal Banks, and good memories with him. Good DFS performances. As far as the Colts go, it's AD Mitchell or bust for me, right? I think it's just I'll probably be a lot of AD Mitchell, a lot of Tez Walker, and then a sprinkle of my guy Jamal Banks.
Yeah, I mean, Bruce, anything else to add with the receivers? I definitely like the AD Mitchell take. The Tez Walker, I mean, I saw a report he was working on the sidelines, but you guys are saying that he should be okay. He's going to play okay, because I know he was a little banged up. What are you doing at the receiver position in this game?
On the Colts side, it's like Rubio said, it's a little bit tougher. I kind of like AD Mitchell and Anthony Gold as well. Another guy that's kind of, he got buzzed last year and kind of just disappeared. I think he's a solid play, but then they have 6 or 7 guys underneath those that are just man, I don't know. Coleman Owen, he played at Ohio, he's a little white receiver, slot receiver. He was always good. But I don't know how much playing time those guys are going to get. So kind of tough to play.
I like the Anthony. Is it Gold or Gould? How do you say his
Gould?
name?
It might be Gould. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that call though, because I do think everyone's going to play AD Mitchell. So maybe that's a little pivot if you wanted to pivot in tournaments. I like that call.
Yeah. There's been some good reports from him from camp as well. So he's looked good. The Baltimore side, I really like LeJohntay Wester. He's a former Colorado receiver. Was with and it's blanking on me. Who's the first round pick Colorado receiver? Hunter.
Travis Hunter.
Yeah, Travis
Travis
Hunter.
Hunter.
Yeah, he was. He was up there with Travis Hunter, wide receiver 2 for Colorado last year. I like him a lot. I think he has a good career ahead of him. And Xavier Guillory, he's also on the pick 6. I like his over. He played for Arizona State last year. Little slot receiver, has big playability. So I like him. I think that number's a little too low, especially if if Tylan Wallace sits out, they're only going to have like 7 receivers that play. So yeah, I have some interest in that for sure. Dayton Wade as well. He's another guy, another college guy that I liked a lot. But yeah, I just like this game a ton. The receivers are good, running backs are short for Baltimore, and quarterback is short as well. So it's a good team to target tonight.
Yeah, it definitely sounds so. Chat definitely likes AD Mitchell. AD Mitchell to the moon. We definitely have some people that are on it. If Richardson doesn't airmail it 10 yards over his head, maybe. Yeah, I mean, that's what you got to worry about with AR. He's got a cannon. I didn't say it was super accurate, but he's definitely got the cannon or the arm to throw it deep. Did you guys touch on the running backs, by the way? I feel like you might have, but Rubio, anything on the running backs, or did I miss
you skipped over the running backs? So go to the rushing yards. I'm very curious to see Rasheen Ali's.
Well, you know what it was? Did I see any?
Receiving is right next to rushing. Oh, there you go. So
there wasn't. That was why there wasn't any in pick 6. There was just Riley Leonard. And by the way, doesn't Riley Leonard run a lot? I remember he's the Duke. Wasn't he on Duke and then he transferred?
Look at that. That's ball knowledge there, JSU.
Did I get that right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
He transferred to Notre Dame, right?
Yeah, not as national championship runner-up. You remember him at Duke. I love it.
Yes. No, I specifically remember him at Duke because I was like, why is this dude? He's not even that fast. Why is he running around? Like, he's not even that fast, but he just kept running. I was like, what is he doing? But yeah, not a good quarterback, but I could see him going over the rushing yards if do we think he gets a half, like the full half?
You said a quarter, Bruce, right?
Yeah. I don't know what Jason Bean's status is. Jason Bean is
he's been around for 3 seasons. If Jason Bean is,
yeah, he's fast. He's really.
All right,
really
maybe
quick.
I don't like it as much if he's just playing a quarter. I don't like that as much. If he was playing the half, I would like that more. But running backs, Rubio, you got a bunch of them at the top. I'm looking at the playbook right now. That's why I knew not to skip over it. I was like, wait, they're at the top of the list, and Rubio hasn't even talked about them yet. So talk about these guys. They got 2 that you really like at the top. Yeah. Who are they, and who do you like the most out of the 2?
Yeah, so look, the Ravens are probably going to have they're going to have 3 running backs available if Marcus Major can't go, and that's assuming Justice Hill could even play a small role. As we saw last week, Craig Reynolds got a bunch of carries to my dismay. So I'm not going to say anything isn't possible, but I'm kind of operating under the fact that the Ravens will run 2 running backs for the most of this game. And Keaton Mitchell, coming off the injury last year, obviously in his rookie year, before doing his knee in, he was having a great game. I want to say it was against the Jaguars that game, but great speed, did not feel like himself toward the end of last year, came back. Obviously, we saw Justice Hill retain that role. He was spectacular in that, where he was able to pass block. He was able to receive for Lamar. He was a great 2-minute guy. Keaton Mitchell's looking to kind of get that role back and maybe just, get a larger role this season, because what he showcased his rookie year, what he showcased in college too, he's Eastern Carolina guy, right? Like East Carolina guy, Bruce.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like great receiver out of the backfield too. And I think he wants to show that he's healthy, that he's back, and he's great. I'm concerned slightly about playing time, just because, he's still, I know we're like 18 months removed from that injury, 19, even 20 months, actually, the more I look at it. But it's like, I still have that in the back of my mind. But you also have to look at Rasheen Ali. If Kurt was on this show, he'd be glazing Rasheen Ali because he went to Marshall. And Rasheen Ali is just one of those guys where we got a long look at him last year, right? That's just the number one thing to kind of note. If you looked at the 2024 snap counts last year, I think you would see Rasheen Ali had a massive role where he was playing almost 50% of the snaps, and same coaching staff, right? Week 1 last year, 55% of the snaps, and week 1 of the preseason, he might have gotten banged up. I think he did get hurt and did not play weeks 2 and 3, but resulted in like 4 fantasy points, which is pretty much a floor for a running back in that spot. And look, there's going to be a popular question tonight. Can I play Keaton Mitchell and Rasheen Ali in the same lineup? Yeah, you can. And hopefully we get big games from both. Again, Baltimore Ravens are underdogs. They're kind of implied 14, 15 points right now. But you're going to get all that volume. And that's assuming that Justice Hill, if Justice Hill is suited up, I'll slightly be lower on them, but they'll still be the 2 best players.
He's not playing.
I don't think so either. And it's also the big thing too. Bruce mentioned, Marcus Major was dealing with a concussion, and if he doesn't go, it's literally just those 2 guys plus Justice Hill. So yeah, I mean, like I would have thought the same thing, JSU, about Craig Reynolds, but obviously he played an entire fucking half, and I'm sitting here holding the bag of Jabari Small and Jalen Sailors, and I'm sitting there just frustrated.
Just run it back, Rubio. Just run it back. Bruce, anything else to add on the running backs in this game?
So Baltimore, I think they signed Ernest Johnson this week, if I'm not mistaken. So that could be 3. Am I wrong there? I'm not sure. I thought I saw that.
I pulled the depth charts from their website, but they could have predated that, right? Okay. So if I just go ahead and pull up their depth chart here, you could be right about the Ernest Johnson. Okay.
Yeah, and it was like on Monday
about that too.
Sunday or Monday it was too, I think. So
he's not on the Ravens website, which that was what I was using to gauge. Okay. And you're right, he did sign for the Ravens.
Okay, so even if they did sign him, it was this week. So how much time will he get? He's probably doesn't even have the playbook yet. So it probably won't matter too much, but he's there at least. So he could get some run. But yeah, other than that, I'm interested in the tight end for Indy, Jelani Woods, a little bit. I think he's fighting for a roster spot, and I think he's a good player. And then Baltimore's kind of short at tight end, so I don't mind a little Scotty Washington as well, kind of an old receiver from Wake Forest that transferred, that moved over to tight end. That's a good player. So I think he's good as well. There, I don't know if we were getting into tight end or not. I'm excited.
You're good. You're good. Move right in there. You just brought up nightmares with me and Jelani Woods from last year when he just died immediately. Was it before the season even started? Yeah, just crushed me. Steve said thoughts on Giddens. I didn't hear you guys talk about Giddens at all. The rookie. Any thoughts on Giddens from the Colts?
Yeah, I think he's a good play. Especially if it depends on what the Colts do at running back. If I doubt Jonathan Taylor plays any, right, Rubio? You think?
Yeah, maybe I have them kind of splitting it up 4 different ways, right? And that's because Salvan Ahmed, he got hip drop tackle. It sounds like the season's over. So. Yeah, so you have a chance that there's still 4 running backs in Indianapolis. So you got Goodson, you got Giddens, Herbert, and Bentley. Giddens, I think, has the most talent of all those guys. Khalil Herbert's a good runner, but the reason why he doesn't see a whole bunch of times because he sucks at pass blocking. So maybe they're going to try and get him some passing sets and actually prove he can fill a gap or something like that. Because we see it all the time. He averages 5 yards a carry in the regular season and can't even sniff the field. So. Yeah, if you're playing a Colts guy, though, just be prepared. It's probably only 1 quarter. I can't project anyone more than a quarter because we just don't know, right? Like, I don't want to go ahead and just get into a really high projection, but he would be my favorite of those 4.
Exactly. And Rubio, anything else with the tight end? Bruce kind of gave his too. Anything else to add? So
Charlie Kolar is someone who didn't play. Well, I think he played 8 snaps in week 1 last year, which is kind of surprised, right? Like weeks 2 and 3, he played a lot more. It's almost like the Ravens kind of just wanted to see what they have below him because it feels like their tight end group is always the same, right? It's always Andrews, Likely, and Kolar. That's the way it's been for 3 years now. But if you look at the rest of the Ravens, tight ends here, like Scotty Washington. So Bruce, I kind of laughed at that just because I was like, if he gets like a 38% snap share like he did in week 1, hopefully he does better than he did last year. So I had him at like a decent like projection rate where I was like, okay, how many snaps is he gonna get? And I looked at last year, I'm like, damn, he didn't get a single stat when he was in last year. So I hope he does better. I'll trust you on that.
Yeah. Also, I was scanning Twitter and saw someone asked the beat writer for the Colts who's the guys to look for in the second half. He mentioned Riley Leonard, Ulysses Bentley, the running back, and Laquan Treadwell, who's also still in the NFL somehow.
How is he still in the league? That's crazy. That's what preseason's made for. Laquan Treadwell in his 200th season with a different team. Love that. All right. Anything else here from this game, or can we move on?
This is like, the Colts are going to run 13 guys at wide receiver, 7 guys at tight end or whatever. So Will Mallory, though, like you said, Bruce, like he's just a really great receiving talent. Like that's the one thing that you kind of recommend is like, you can get cute at tight end today. That's how you win the big bucks. You get cute at tight end like you did with Nick Muse that slate. So it's like Will Mallory probably has the most. Obviously, Brock Bowers is on the slate and stuff, but he has some of the best hands on the slate for the tight end position.
All right, there we go. That's Colts and Ravens. Let's move on to the next game. As we do, hit the like button on the video if you enjoy this free content, and subscribe to the YouTube channel because we will have more of these shows for the preseason slates as we get closer and closer to the regular season of NFL. And join us at Run Pure Sports if you haven't already or heard. We added our NFL single sport packages and our NFL full package. So check it out over at runpuresports.com. And you can use JBC 100K win for a free week. That's with any monthly package that we have on the board. JBC 100K win will get you a free week added on. So check us out. Join the Discord as well. Let's go to the Bengals and the Eagles here. And I saw a few comments about the Bengals. Burrow. Zeke says, Burrow over free. Mark my words. He is calling a shot with Joey B, who should get a quarter, the coach said. And then Benair, Taj Brooks, higher rushing yards over under than Rashid Ali. There you go from Benair. We will talk about Taj Brooks and Joe Burrow. Bruce, let's start off with you, though, at the QB position. Like I said, Joey B getting a quarter. What are you doing with Joey B? Obviously, the best quarterback on the slate, of course, but only getting a quarter. Is a quarter enough?
I mean, definitely. He can score on 2 drives, and they can pull him out for sure. So, yeah, I always find trouble playing guys that are just going to get a quarter, but he's elite. He's going to have his guys on the field too. So you can't discount that against probably what's going to be a backup Philly defense as well. So I think he's still a good play. You're going to get Jake Browning probably most of the game after Burrow departs. So I don't think he's a bad play either. He's looked decent, I guess, in preseason action years past. So I don't mind him. Definitely not playing Desmond Ridder. He's probably going to get a quarter or so. Philly QB battle. They're kind of battling out for that spot behind Tanner McKee, who's been good. Probably see all 3 of McKee, DTR, and McCord. DTR, of course, has the most upside, but he can't complete a pass. So good luck with that if you're playing him. But yeah, I'd go Burrow and Browning here. Those are the 2 that I'm most interested in.
Yeah, DTR, no thank you. I know he can rush, but that dude, man, he's one of the worst passing quarterbacks I've seen get actual real snaps in a real NFL regular season game. That's insane to me. But Rubio, anything to add with these quarterbacks? What are you doing with Joe Burrow? Bruce says he struggles at times to click the 1 quarter guys, but at the same time, it's Joey B and 2 drives, and he could easily put up 2 TDs.
Yeah, and I think if the Bengals win the toss, they're going to take it, right? They're going to take the ball. And look, a lot has been made about their struggles early in the season, right? Like every single season the Bengals start out slow. Losing to the Patriots last year was what ultimately led to them missing the playoffs in a tiebreaker against the Broncos, I believe it was. So yeah, I mean, look, I expect them to come out firing. What you're going to see is you're going to see the starters match up. I think Chase Brown is going to fill the first quarter. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and whoever, right? Like that's the reality of it. The only guy set to miss out is Gesicki. Gesicki is dealing with a hamstring injury. He'll be out for this one. Otherwise, I mean, it's full go. And look, I don't like clicking a one quarter guy either. If you're going to say, if I said 10 points from Burrow, which is probably on the high side of things, I would take it. Problem is, Bruce, 10 points is a large amount. All right. That's like 75 yards and 2 touchdowns to even get to 11. So I'm not going to have too much Burrow. And this kind of goes to your point too, Bruce, is like, look, we're probably going to see Browning for half the game. The game is second and third quarter. And then Desmond Ridder is just going to play cleanup in that fourth. So yeah, while I'm not thrilled with it, you have to respect the touchdown upside of all these guys, especially Jamar Chase. 25% of Jamar Chase is a whole lot better than 50% of Jermaine Burton, right? Especially when you got Burrow slinging him the rock. So, yeah, I think I have more interest in the skill players than I do with Joe Burrow. And overall, these quarterbacks are not really on my radar except for Browning. The McKee thing, I'm going to say it. I'll go ahead and put it out there. I think McKee under 87.5 yards for pick 6 there. He was terrible last year. And I know that he is probably the second best quarterback in this bunch, which you got to hope that Jalen Hurts never gets hurt. Just because I looked at his, you look at his 39 snaps in the week 1 last year, 1.8 fantasy points. All right. The next week, 33 snaps, 7.2 fantasy points. Not bad. Then 31 snaps, 3.1 fantasy points. His rates were just like that Philly offense, especially, really underwhelmed. And look, they're not projecting much for McCord and DTR either. But yeah, I mean, I just don't really expect much to happen here. The Bengals are my favorite defense for that reason. And K. Reed, I backed your Eagles all playoffs. I can hate on McKee for a little bit. Let me have this, K. Reed. I backed them until the Super Bowl. That was sad. But yeah, he was just terrible in the preseason last year, and he's probably going to go against the Bengals' strongest unit for at least the first bit of the game. I think it's just kind of a disadvantage for him compared to the others.
Zeke agrees with you. The boys, buns, facts. K. Reed not happy because if you go against an Eagle, you are an enemy in K. Reed's mind.
So you know what, K. Reed?
I enjoy it. I'm always an enemy of the Eagles fans in K. Reed, so I'll just enjoy Rubio taking unders on the Eagles. I love that. All right. So what about Joey B? Before we just move on, what about his prop? 65.5. What do we think? Are we more or less staying away?
I'm staying away. I think that's a really good
Bruce?
number.
Yeah, that's pretty close to what I'd be at.
Staying away. All right. I'm gonna stay away too. If both you guys are saying stay away, I'm just gonna stay away. I won't go more or less. I'm sure a bunch of people though are going to be clicking the Joey B prop. Go to the running backs here. Taj Brooks was brought up. Obviously, people want to know about Taj Brooks, Bruce, and anyone else from either of these two teams. Who are you highest on?
Yeah, definitely Taj Brooks. I just, behind Chase Brown and P. Ryan here, you have Brightwell, who's played for the Giants, I think, and then Milton's former Georgia running back, and Quali Conley played for Arizona last year in college. Taj Brooks is a stud. He played for Texas Tech, caught the ball out of the backfield. He's a big, he's like a bowling ball. He's like maybe 5'7", 5'8", and then maybe like 215, or at least he looks it. I don't know his exact measurements, but
he's a bowling ball.
Yeah, he just ran everybody over. It was fun to watch, and he never got hurt either. Never came out of the game. He's just a stud. And supposedly in camp, he's catching the ball well. Which was one of the concerns going in the combine for some reason. When he caught the ball well at Tech. So I like Brooks. I think he's probably my favorite. Up there with Chase Brown, of course. If he gets a quarter, he's he can do some work as well. the Philly running back situation. You have Shipley and Dillon kind of battling out for that second and third spot in the rotation. So I just don't know how much work they're going to get. And then behind them, you have Shenderick Powell, who's getting a lot of camp buzz and supposedly is going to get a lot of work in this game, according to one of the beats. So I think he's decent. And then Keelan Robinson, he's a former Texas running back, really fast, but more of a gadget guy. So it could just be Shipley, Dillon, and Powell, with Montrell Johnson been banged up with a hamstring, I believe. So really short rotation there for Philly. So I'm more interested in those guys, other than Chase Brown on the Cincy side, especially Powell. He looks good.
Yeah, and I forgot this, but someone asked Bengals starters confirmed in. They are
Mhm.
playing, right? At least a quarter was the idea behind it for the starters. So yes, confirmed starters are good for what sounds like a quarter here. Rubio, I mean, obviously touch on Taj Brooks. I really like Taj Brooks. I'm glad Bruce likes him too. He was like, I think he led the nation in college football with like forced missed tackles. I think he had like 91 forced missed tackles. Dude, absolute beast, sick cuts. Yeah, he's probably going to play a decent amount. I really like him here. I'm definitely going to play him. What about the other running backs though? Besides him, what are you doing with them?
Yeah, I mean, like Brooks is probably the best in this game, right? Like, I don't want to like get too involved with that, but it's like you also get a quarter of Chase Brown, not the greatest, but you're also not getting a whole lot of a quarter from a lot of guys. And if you're hearing any buzz, and I also saw that same buzz that Bruce saw about Powell, and then I looked up Powell's stats in the FCS, and my eyes popped out. I think he was averaging 8 yards a carry before transferring to Central Arkansas, which I know. Look, I know it's not Division One FCS or FBS, but it's like FCS is still pretty damn good.
Mhm.
And if you're averaging 8 yards a carry, you got my attention, and I'm for sure going to be rifling a bit of Powell tonight. And a big reason for that is that Philly room can be a little bit thin tonight, right? Like, I don't know how much they want to extend like Will Shipley tonight. I think he's got, there could be a battle between him and Dillon, right? Like, our guy K Reed might know. I mean, K Reed, what do you think about that running back situation? But also, if what we got Montrell Johnson, if he misses out, then you're left with just 4 guys, and 2 of them, Shipley could not even play all that much. You could be looking at 30-40% of the snaps for a guy like Robinson or Powell. And I think I would opt with Powell there. And yeah, there's tournament upside here at this position. Again, there's only 2 guys I really have well above a quarter, and that's the Ravens guys. And the rest, Chase Brown, Taj Brooks. I mean, I've got them at about a quarter. Giddens can get a little bit over a quarter, but then you really start looking at upside. Where can someone play almost a half? Powell could be one of those guys. So I like that call a lot.
Yeah, we got some new pick sixes added too. Will Shipley's rushing was added. I didn't check the other games yet, but wide receivers here, Bruce. I mean, obviously you got the studs that are going to play. Rubio touched on it a little bit with these guys, but go into it real quick with the wide receivers, and you might as well lump the tight ends in there too if you want.
Sure. Yeah, looks like Terrace Marshall practiced on the 5th. He had been out with a knee injury. Wasn't sure if he was going to go today, but I'm guessing if he practiced on the 5th, he's probably back to full speed or close to it. So should be about 8 or 9 guys there for Philly, and a ton more for Cincinnati since they're playing their starters. I really, out of all these guys, I like Anais Smith. I think he's a good play. He's been working after practice with Jalen Hurts, and supposedly looked good this camp. Elijah Cooks is my other guy. Supposedly looked good all camp. Big receiver, and has some NFL experience as well. Played some for the Jags last year, I believe, and he's a big receiver. Makes plays really fast. So I have some interest there. On the Cincy side, Isaiah Williams is the guy that I really like. Played at Illinois, was a volume guy. Caught everything that was thrown his way, and has looked good with with Browning and Burrow in camp as well. So have a lot of interest in him, and Jermaine Burton can score anytime from anywhere. So he's always has that upside, even if he's even if he's a terrible person and can't stay on can't get on the field during the regular season. So yeah, those are the two guys I really have the most interest in. I really like Cooks a ton and probably will be overweight on him.
Yeah, I like the Burton call here. Robert, I can guarantee you Bruce knows everything about all these college players, guys coming in. He literally knows every single person. He does all the projections for college football. So all these people coming in, I would bet he knows way more about these guys than you do. I'll put any amount of money on it too. So throw it out there, Robert. I guarantee you Bruce will be able to get you. I will not speak for myself. I never said I was the college football expert or expert on these guys, but Bruce and Rubio, they definitely know their shit. Rubio did the projections for all these guys. Bruce does the projections for college football. I'd be careful about throwing stuff out there like that. Rubio, you want to add to the wide receivers? I know you touched on Chase a little bit. What about Burton and on the other side with the Eagles?
Yeah, I mean,
I like the Smith
landed,
call too.
they probably landed in Philly, and Burton found the nearest casino to just sit at for 24 hours.
No, I heard he was doing better this year. I heard he was doing better this year. What do you don't think so?
He won't change. He won't change.
Once a gambler, always a gambler. Is that what you're saying?
Sitting at the slots, man. Come on now. Sitting at the same slot. Like, come on. At least like on a slot or something like that. But no,
it reminds me of the UFC. It reminds me of the big UFC fighter, that Sergey Pavlovich, that would just sit and play slots like 3 hours before he's about to go in the ring and like try and kill somebody. It's like Jermaine Burton just like playing slots.
It kind of became a landmark. If you go to Hollywood Casino, you can sit in the same spot that Jermaine Burton sat at all night. It's like it's got a little plaque on there and everything. But funny enough, like he's a big play guy, and you value big play guys in the preseason. He can take a top off of defense. And look, like Bruce said, don't matter how bad of a person you are, if you can take the top off the defense, it takes one ball to get you there. And I think Burton is going to be one of those guys. And look, I said I would like the skill players over Burrow tonight, right? Because look, I think one play in the skill player position can do a whole lot more for a guy to be in the optimal than one play for a quarterback. So if any of Chase, Higgins, or if Higgins, Chase, or Brown score, right, they're going to probably be in the winner, right? Not probably, but like they're going to have a really good chance if they're in your lineup that you're going to be propelled by them. For Burton, I think you're looking for more volume. I don't think you're going to just see him run out with the first team offense. There is a big deal though with Gesicki missing. Gesicki primarily runs from the slot. Yoshavas will kind of fill that role, but Burton's going to have a little bit more opportunity to take some snaps there as well. It could lead to maybe 40% of the snaps on a good day. And, you can get there with volume compared to Chase and Higgins, where I think you're banking on a touchdown more so than anything. And then for the tight end position too, to just kind of lump it up and tie a knot on this game. The Bengals, feels like for the, fourth straight preseason, we're sitting here looking at Tanner Hudson and stuff, but they still got plenty of bodies. I know Eric All, right? He had his injury last year, tore his knee up again. But he, that still leaves the Bengals where if you just looked at their depth chart, they got a bunch of bodies at the tight end position. They got 5 guys who will see the field if you're not including Gesicki and all. They got Randy, they got McLaughlin, they got Hudson, Fant, and Sample. So Fant could have a decent role tonight. I mean, I think they're going to keep the first 4. I think they're going to keep Sample, Gesicki, Fant, and Hudson because I don't know if you remember, but Grandy and McLaughlin both got snaps last year. But it could be a position battle between Fant and Hudson too for that, kind of that second receiving role at that end position.
Grandy and Sample were used a lot as blockers. So yeah, like one of those guys definitely is making it, right? Like maybe 2, but one of them's definitely made because I like to throw him in the backfield on third down. So
Fant could not be guaranteed for the roster, and Hudson might not be guaranteed either. So like, they're kind of going to be playing similar roles. Hudson's very much a receiver more than a blocker, and same thing with Fant. I don't really, and there's a reason why Fant was cut, right? Like, he's just kind of over the hill at this point. I did want to address this too. Look, the Bengals have had a slow start every single year with Burrow. Last year, they came out, one drive, they kicked ass, and then they just sat the rest of the game. I don't think that's going to be the case here, Michael. I think it's just going to be 2 series if they play really well. If it's one good drive, I still think he's going to send him out there for a second good drive. But the big thing to note here is just like, the Bengals are very adamant on playing their starters more this preseason to avoid the slow starts they've had in the regular season. That's been the theme all summer, and it's been echoed by Zach Taylor and them, in all training camp as well.
Yeah, and he talked about like it could be eaten up on just like one long drive, like where they just look amazing, but it's one really long drive, and then maybe they get one opportunity, and if it spills a little in, it does seem like he wants his main guys to play more in the preseason, like you said, to avoid the slow start, because he did talk about it like, hey, it could be just like a very long drive, and maybe we get another opportunity, maybe we don't into the second quarter, but like, we want to get these guys a quarter and stuff. So it does seem like they're prioritizing it, where you see other teams like they're prioritizing not playing any of their first, like their starters at any position even. So it's just different mindsets. You know what I mean? Bengals have been slow starters coming out of the gate in the regular season. They were massive favorites, lost to, the Patriots in week 1. It's just like they're trying to avoid stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it kind of makes sense. They had a lot of expectations last year, kind of disappointed early, and then had to make it up in the end of the year. So they're trying to avoid all of that in the preseason here. And you only get 3 games, right, Rubio? It's not like you get the 4th game. You only get 3 games. So you might have to play more in these 3.
JST, did you just see the huge news that just hit the Chargers? Rashawn Slater out for the year. Man,
yeah, that's massive.
That kills that offensive line there. That's scary stuff. I was really high on the Chargers coming into this year. That's going to that's going to make me a little pessimistic.
Him and Alt were like a sick duo, and now
they had their tackles settled, and I thought they were going to have a big year. Slater, man, that sucks. Oh God, I was kind of cheering for the Chargers this year.
Rubio, did you see that they added not to get us totally sidetracked, but did you see they added like an award for offensive linemen?
I did not. That's good. That's always good.
Yeah, they added it. I wonder what Joe Alt's odds are to win now that Slater's hurt. Because like in my mind, those type of awards, like when you have 2 sick linemen like that, they probably take away from each other. I wonder what his odds are. Yeah, they added like I don't know what
Lane Johnson's award though, where they're just like, all right, let's give it to Lane Johnson first, the best lineman in the game.
No, he's got like the best, or he's got like the second best odds. I think I forget who's number 1. Well, Lane Johnson's odds are up there.
That's the most degenerate thing to search.
Yeah, that's all right.
I love it.
Dude, we're playing DraftKings NFL preseason. We played the Hall of Fame game last
you just called me that he was the second best odds to win it. I couldn't believe that.
Dude, because I looked at it. Wait, it might have been Tristan. I'm not sure. He's suspended though for a few games. Or no, he's hurt. I'm sorry, not suspended. He's hurt for a few games. So either way, I looked it up. I might have to bet a little on Joe Alt. I'm just saying. I might have to bet it. That's okay. We're DGens here. We're playing preseason NFL. We hope you guys enjoy playing on DraftKings. If you're watching the show, probably do enjoy playing NFL preseason on DraftKings here. Tight ends, guys. Rubio, you touched on the tight ends. I mean, Bruce, anything else to add, or you good?
I think Granson and Brian are the 2 guys that I really like here. Granson mostly. They signed both those guys to a 1-year contract, so they'll be battling out behind Goddard and Calcaterra, I think. So be interesting to see that battle there. And Nick Muse, he helped me win $50K 2 years ago, so I'm back on that train, at least for a lineup or 2, just to feel alive a little bit. I know he's like 5th string guy, but I'll still play him a little bit.
I missed this question. Daniel said, Rubio, how much more do you like these Baltimore running backs over guys like Brooks, Giddens, even Powell? Like, are they way ahead of them in your mind, or are they still kind of close?
Yeah, they're way ahead of them, just because like you saw it last week, Sailors barely played in the 4th quarter. And not to say that Dearness Johnson's in the same boat, right? Because he kind of is, but it's like 10% of the snaps, you're still splitting 90% of the game, which could be our best case, right? So we're kind of running like just slightly long, which we'll get through the last game and stuff. But we do want to make sure that who's in uniform and who's not in uniform for the Ravens here shortly. And can I just say one other thing? I know I said that, but the Philly fan, I love the Philly fan so much because I actually love like Embiid and stuff and everything. God, I can't say one bad thing about their team. I can't say one bad thing about McKee.
What do you mean? We've been talking shit about Embiid for like 5 years now. Like we just keep it going with Philly.
I still got to trust the process sweatshirt I wear all the time.
Oh my God! You do not wear a trust the process.
I'm a big Jokic guy, but I love Embiid, man. I always will.
That's disgusting. That's bad. That's bad. You're a Jokic guy and you wear a trust the process sweatshirt. I just lost all respect for you right there. That's
got a nice number 21 instead of the 76.
That's disgusting. All right, let's move on here, guys. Let's go to the final game here. We got the Raiders and the Seahawks. Raiders obviously new head coach. Rubio, talk about how that factors in because you do have the snap count page, which kind of shows what these coaches maybe did in previous years. I might pull that up, honestly, while you talk about it real quick. But, talk about quarterback. I know Milroe was discussed in the chat a little bit. People were talking him up. I know he's got wheels, maybe not the best thrower yet or the most polished thrower, but he's definitely got some speed. What do you think of him? Touch on all that.
Yeah, so with the Raiders, we don't want to use 2024 snap counts. Or if you were just like looking at how am I going to use this content, right? Why? Because Pierce isn't there as the coach anymore. It's Pete Carroll. So if you wanted to look at maybe stuff and like, what he did in Seattle, a few years ago, you can, right? At the end of the day, though, you don't want to use the Raiders stuff. I kept it up there because, look, if you want to see how a certain player performed last year, it's a really easy way to kind of see how they performed given the snaps and what their snap share was. If you go to like Seattle, though, like, we're kind of getting into this water where, you're going to have three quarterbacks play for both teams, three quarterbacks play for the Raiders, two for the Seahawks. And when you go to Seattle, like the big thing that I want to know is what are they going to do at quarterback? Is it going to be a 50-50 split? And Bruce, you might have seen that, but I haven't seen a 50-50 split. I saw Jalen Milroe's passing prop was 98.5 there, which I was kind of shocked by. And I also saw that the Raiders passing props were 90, 90, and 50, which again, 230 passing yards in the preseason game is fairly high. So I'm kind of curious to see why those are just so sky high. If you did guarantee me a half of Milroe, I would like it. The problem is I don't know if we're going to see that. It could be Drew Lock playing, into the third quarter and whatever. Like, I still think Drew Lock has a decent bit of talent. I think he's good enough for a preseason game to get the job done. But who knows? Like, Bruce, you might have a different take on that. Like, is Milroe going to get like more run than I think tonight? Is it a 50-50 split?
I think it could be close. I know they want to see him. He's. I know that they at least want to see what he has. His rushing prop's nice too. I think it's like 23.5 or somewhere around there. That was going to be my pick six was the over there. Just because I think he can run. Milroe.
It's 25.5 on DK pick six right now.
Yeah, I still like it. I still think he runs runs quite a bit, and they only have two active quarterbacks, so I think he at least gets maybe a quarter and a half too. I don't know. We'll see.
By the way, Rubio, that McKee prop's getting steamed up. It's at 91.5 now. It was at we haven't bet it yet, but it's going up.
We got CLV there. We got CLV by waiting. We waited long enough. Great job, JSU. That was sharp. That was a very sharp move.
I'm glad we went long on this show. Sorry, Bruce. Didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good.
Anything else here, Bruce, with the quarterbacks, or are you good?
Yeah, just Milroe and Locke. Both are great plays. I think I'll have a good amount of both. I like both of them. I'm not sure on these Raiders QBs what I'm going to do. They only have 3 active guys, right, Rubio?
You said it best. Like when they asked who's going to go for him tonight, right? Yeah. And Pete Carroll just said, everyone's live. Everyone's live. That's all I got from the Raiders. Everyone's live. Fuck you, Pete Carroll.
I think the Raiders are by far the diciest team. Like, I have no idea. What does that even mean? Everyone's live is in like everyone's going to be in uniform.
That's what I assume. I think he wants to. I mean, it's his first game too, so he could legitimately mean that everyone's going to play. Which at that point, I mean, you could. I don't think you wanted.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know.
what does that mean, Rubio? Everyone's going to play a quarter, a series, a snap. Like, what are we talking about here?
No, I think you at least see Geno Smith for a series. Could it be two? Who knows? But then it kind of gets into the ballpark where one of those damn unders is a lock. Like it's like the ball in the cup, right? I think you could take two of those unders in the same lineup, in the same pick six, and feel good about it. It's just like that. Look at I know that they're favorites and stuff, but that's like 230 passing yards there compared to like 199 for the Seahawks. And I don't think Aiden O'Connell or Geno Smith or Cam Miller are going to be lighting shit up. So
Cam Miller is a stud.
Talk to me about him.
I know a lot of people haven't watched North Dakota State football, but man, he was
no, Bruce. Robert has. Robert's in the chat. He's definitely
good.
watched North Dakota State football. He's done projections for Cam Miller. He knows all about Miller. But talk about him real quick for the other 500 people watching that don't know him.
So he's a really tough style of quarterback. He's about a little over 6 foot, over 200 pounds. Ran for over 600 yards last year. Had 13 touchdowns, and that's in college where the sacks count against your rushing total. So that's really solid. And he was he's a 2-time champion as well, and at the FCS level. He's fun to watch. He's going to be he broke Carson Wentz's passing record as well. So love to see that. I know.
Big T's favorite quarterback.
Yeah.
Shout out Big T.
Yeah, he's going to be fun to watch. I'm excited to watch him play. And if for some reason Geno just gets a drive or two, and we see Aiden O'Connell play a little bit, maybe we get a good look at Cam Miller there. So
who knows? Maybe we get like a half, Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
Close to it, a quarter and a half or a half.
Yep, and he has the upside. I mean, as a rusher for sure, and you like to see that in the preseason.
All right, I like it. You kind of sell me a little bit on Cam Miller. Rubio,
I'm kind of liking it too.
Rubio, you want to jump to the receivers? If you got anything else to add on the quarterbacks, you can. But if not, jump to the receivers or the running backs too.
Yeah, like that's why I like doing the show and stuff. Obviously, like running short a little bit on time and stuff. Updated the projections right now to kind of give more of Bruce's takes in there as well. And Anthony, we don't know, right? Like I wish I could tell you with confidence what Pete Carroll's going to do. I'm going to assume yes. I think it's going to be on the same schedule that he'll play with Geno Smith. We won't know until 9:00, if anything. The great thing about that, though, is everyone's the same price. You're going to have pivots. That's the value of being in the Discord too. Is right. We're going to be tracking that stuff all night long and making sure that all this stuff is settled. That you don't have any zeros in your lineup, because it's the one thing that, unless you're Bruce, who shipped with a 0 for 50K, I keep bringing it up, had a 0 in his damn lineup and still won the thing because his tight end and quarterback went off and stuff.
One Pierre, buddy.
It just shows. If you get a little bit different on preseason, especially, it only takes a couple players to really set you apart from the field. So, but yeah, no one wants to
want any dead zeros, as in like they don't play. You know what I mean? A zero is going to happen in the preseason. That stuff's going to happen. Yeah. But like, it's a different when you have a dead 0, as in a guy that just had no shot to score because he didn't play. And that is the benefit of being in the Discord, is these guys, we're going to make sure you guys are up to date on all this news. If anything comes out with Pete Carroll and the Raiders, and like Genty's going to get a series or Genty's going to get 2 series or something like that, we'll have it in the Discord as soon as it comes out. And, again, like I said, that's why you should be a Rump Your Sports member. Check out the new NFL packages. Get in. Make sure you join the Discord.
Damn, Anthony, we answered your question. I said a series or 2 on the same path as Geno. Calm down.
I mean, directly answered your question too. So I don't know what more you want. But yeah, let's keep going into the running backs, Rubio, if you want to, outside of Genty, who we just really don't know. And maybe the Raiders right now, because they're kind of tough to talk about. You really don't know unless you just like a player, talk about the other side in Seattle.
Yeah. I mean, look, with the Seattle Seahawks, right, we kind of got like a slight idea what they're going to kind of be like, right? We got a decent sample of last year. I don't think you're going to see Charbonnet or Walker play. That's the one thing that the Seahawks came out and said that none of the starters are playing, and a select few young guys are not going to play as well. And what this game is going to be is they're going to try and get a lot of guys who they haven't seen much of yet get a lot of time. I'm going to let Bruce talk about the next Jerry Rice here in a second. I'll talk about the running backs here, but I saw a comment earlier. I didn't get to highlight it, but it was like George Halani. He said George Halani in 2025, and I just kind of laughed at myself because like I don't think I remember playing him in like 2019, Bruce, for Boise. All of a sudden he's still around in 2025, and yeah, it is crazy. And I don't really love any of these running backs. I'd rather have the running backs in the early games. You go down the list on the Raiders side of things, you could have up to 6 running backs play. If anything, Dylan Laub, right? And I could be, screwing that pronunciation up, but it's like Laub or Holani for me in this one. I mean, maybe you can make the case for Damian Martinez. Is Martinez the Oregon State guy there, Bruce? Is that where I'm remembering him from?
Yeah, he was at Florida State last year, I believe.
That's what it was.
No, maybe not. Where did he go? I don't know. Miami. That's right.
Miami. Yes.
That's right.
Shame on you, Bruce. You should have known that instantly. Why did you forget?
Damn state right, but not the.
I was thinking DJU.
Oh God,
Oregon State.
He looked terrible last week, Bruce. Oh,
I was asleep by then. I don't remember.
All right, move on to the receivers then. If you guys are done with the rushing, move on to receivers and talk about these guys. I know Rubio wants to talk up, or no, it was Bruce who was talking up some Jake Bobo, Horton. Those are your guys, Bruce. I saw you chatting about it in our chat. Talk about those guys real quick and who you like the most, and then overall.
Yeah, this is man. I wish I knew what the Raiders were going to do because they have some good receivers as well. But definitely interested in Bobo. Ricky White, one of my favorite college receivers, also on the slate. He's a stud. Played for UNLV last season, and he caught everything. Just a big play receiver. He's kind of interesting to me as well. Torrey Horton. He's a stud, getting a lot of talk so far in camp, and someone even called him Jerry Rice Jr. while he was giving doing his post-practice meeting. So I like him a lot. I think he's probably gonna make the team as a 5th receiver, kind of fighting with MVS there for the spot. So it'll be interesting to see if MVS plays. I believe he will, just because he's not sewed up that spot either. So, yeah, I like Horton a ton. Bobo, those are my 2 guys there. For the Raiders, man, Colin Johnson. I just have flashbacks of him scoring 3 touchdowns last season in the preseason. Wasn't that the first game? Wasn't that the Hall of Fame game last year? He absolutely smashed, and didn't hear from him again. It's tough to play him though in that rotation, especially with the starters up in the air. Jack Besh is my favorite receiver there for the Raiders, and Dante Thornton is getting a lot of buzz, but he might be too good. He might be a starter now. He was listed as a starter on the depth chart. Big play guy for Tennessee last year, so I like him. If this was a regular season game, just a big play guy there. The other guy that's been getting a lot of buzz is Alex Bachman. Little slot receiver type guy from Wake Forest. He's been in the preseason years past, and he catches everything. One of those types that's good for safe points usually, especially if he gets a lot of run. He's a good play.
All right, Todd coming in here. He's a little late, but very respectful. Sorry if I missed it already. Just jumping in, wondering about best tight end on the slate ? Sure, Todd, we will gladly answer your question with how respectful you are and how you waited your turn like a normal adult human and didn't spam the chat 10 times after we answered your question already. Best tight end on the slate, Rubio and Bruce both answer. Your favorite tight end each. Rubio?
So I'm a kind of a donkey a little bit with playing the studs, but I do like, not getting a 0 at tight end. And I think like playing a guy like Bowers and stuff has merit to it. If I wasn't playing one of the studs, I think, I already see Bruce's rank, but it makes a lot of sense here. But like a guy like Arroyo or Mallory could be the one. But a Bowers might be one of my top guys if they got a quarter, right? Who knows? If he doesn't suit up, I can pivot off it. But right now, I would pivot to Arroyo at that point if he didn't suit up.
There you go. Bruce, favorite tight end?
Yeah, it'd be Arroyo. I think he gets a lot of run here, and should only have 4 active, maybe even 3 active tight ends. Since that worked out for us last week with our guy got a ton of run, but maybe 1 catch. So I'm gonna go back to the guy that's gonna get the playing time. He had some long catches at Miami last year. I mean, just ran away from the defense too. He has that kind of speed and athleticism. So I'm going to stick with that guy in a short rotation and just hope it pays off.
Anthony, I gave you the longest leash I could give someone for being an absolute D-bag in the chat. I tried my best with you. I had to put you in a little timeout because you were acting like a child. It makes sense. It suits you. Timeout for you. Hopefully you're better next time out. Good luck in your DraftKings contest tonight. All right, boys. Anything else here? Or you want to move into the show pick 6 so we can get out of here?
Show pick 6. Let's get out of here.
Show
Defense is play the favorites. Play a road team for defense.
So we have 3 already on the board right now. We have Gilliard over on the 14.5 receiving yards. We have McKee under or less than the 91.5, was 87.5.
Oh, you got the 4 CLV on Milrow. Oh, no.
Milrow's getting steamed too.
Milrow's getting steamed hard. We better get in on that now. What you guys want to add 3 more to the list? I mean, you want to throw 3 more in there? 1 each?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Full pick 6. What do we got? What do we got
the
here?
Ravens running backs, if you check real quick, because it was a while since we talked about the Ravens.
Oh yeah, let's see that.
There it is.
We got Ali. What do we think?
I'm gonna steal it. I'm gonna take the over on Ali at 28.5.
Like it.
Okay, Bruce.
Let me go under Sincere McCormick, running back, rushing yards down.
That.
Yeah.
Under.
They have a lot of
23.5.
Yeah, under 23.5.
A lot of bodies there.
Yeah.
A lot of bodies. I like that one. I do want to take my boy Taj Brooks.
That's a tall line. I'll say it. The 30 is a tall line.
It is, right? Like
they amped it up a little bit. I would have liked the JSU, but it's like 7 yards higher than I wanted it to be.
No, I wanted the bet is over too. You guys were talking. Cooper Rush is going to play a lot, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to go over on passing touchdowns.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Cooper Rush has massive experience too. He's played in like actual regular season games, and he's been a competent quarterback. Give me the over on the passing touchdowns. All right, so this is what we got for pick 6. They do have a 30% win boost over there as well. So you guys just can go into the pick 6. Obviously, if you can see my screen right here, you just click that over. You get that 30% win boost. I think it's up to $25. Let's see what I can put on this thing. Can I put? No, I think it's 25, right? Yeah, 25 max entry, right, Rubio?
Yeah. You can't win more than 250 with it, though. It looks.
Okay.
You can't be more than a 10x for you. This is what it looks like. $250 max credit, but a $25 max entry.
$25 max entry.
So if you wanted to trim it to like a 5-leg to whatever suits your needs, right? Like
I might actually just do the 3 we had, but take your shitty McKee play out and put my McKee out.
Keep Ali and stuff. Make it a 5-leg, JS. You make it a 5-legger. You take out McKee.
All right.
That'll be the one that misses the cut.
Let's do that then, because then I can get 25 wins me 260. You said 250 is the most we can win, right?
Yeah, it might let you submit at 25. I mean, I'm just guessing based on that max.
All right, let's do that. We'll do 25. So here's the plays. Again, we've got Gilliard over 14.5, Milrow over rushing yards, 28.5, Ali over rushing yards, 28.5, Sincere McCormick under or less than 23.5 rushing yards, and Cooper Rush over a half passing touchdown over on DraftKings. Pick 6.
I love it.
Check my location. I swear I get location checked like every time I do anything. It's just location check left and right.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to find me. I sit in the same spot every day and I build lineups, DraftKings. Come on. Am I going to have to reload this page? Oh, come on. We can't locate you. Unbelievable. Hold on.
We'll worry about it later today too.
We're live right now, DraftKings. You can't do this to me. I'm gonna have to get out of the screen there. Oh yes, it worked. Of course, right as I get out of the screen. All right, I'm gonna post that.
Sure.
I'm gonna post that on Twitter. Finally, I'll post that on Twitter for anyone that is looking for it. And I'll post it in our Discord over at RunPureSports.com in the DK Pick 6. Like I said before, hit the like button on the video if you enjoyed this free. Let me reiterate: free content for NFL DraftKings preseason Slate 1. Thank you guys for watching. Join us at RunPureSports.com for Rubio Dimes, Bruce, and myself. Good luck in your DraftKings preseason DFS contest and Pick 6. Until tomorrow, we'll see you guys later. We're out. Peace.